Time to bring the thunder. Let the heavens rage, Zeus.
Hello everyone, Allzeit back again with some POV and commentary video. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, hit the bell, and let me know in the comment section what would you have done differently in this game today. The first video I upload for the PRB02 meta, and maybe you see it in my hand, guys. Welcome back, Pluffy Donk, for all my OGs here following me since day one. You guys remember I had some crazy successful videos uploaded on my channel with the Pluffy Donk version, where I was able to win a store championship for the Wave 1 finals. I decided to take him back to our locals, as I think, why not? It's not a bad leader at all, and I'm super excited to share with you guys some new Pluffy Donk videos. I won the dice roll and I decided to go second. Of course, Pluffy Donk prefers to go second. As you saw here, I have Sugar Searcher, so able to search top 5 for Don Quixote pirate card. The only target I do have here, no, I have, I think, 2 targets. It's the 2K and the Sugar itself. And what is nice about this Sugar, I'm able to search herself as well, which is quite cool and useful, as you see, for example, in this scenario. So playing here against UP Luffy, still a very strong contender in the PRB02 meta. And here also something very nice. As soon as you play the Sugar, most of the time opponent decides to swing into Sugar, so she's also kind of a pseudo blocker, which helps you to stay healthy. Drawing here and using leader ability, I'm on 5 dawns, but unfortunately I do not really have good cards to play. I have Miss Double Finger, which I could use to ramp again. I have Sugar Searcher, which could be an option to look for a target to play later on with 8-cost Dofi. So I decided to play her, and here we see one of the main cards in this Pluffy Donk version is the 5-cost Rosinante. Unfortunately, I do have to bottom deck some really good events, Jump Jump, Gum Gum Giant, and Hell's Judgment. So decided here to swing for 8. My opponent takes. I was lucky that he did not trigger any Hell's Judgment, so he could ramp, for example. No, not Hell's Judgment. I mean God. No, not God Thread. Thunder Bagua, if I remember. So he used here God Thread to ramp 1, just to get rid of my Sugar. Again, she is annoying. She always is able to search. Going here into my turn 4, and I am... Is it my turn 4? No, I'm on second. No, it's my turn... Yeah, turn 4. Here I can decide either to play 8-cost Kata, which could be a good option. It's a defensive tool. It ramps always 1 Don at the end of the turn, and he can restand himself, so it's a very strong card. Probably also deciding to do so because I could also have played my 8-cost Dofi into Rosie, but I would love to profit from Rosie's ability to draw 2 extra cards. The only thing which is risky here a little bit, if my opponent plays Pudding, it could hurt a lot. And here we see something crazy. My opponent here, if I'm not wrong, is on 8 dawns, and I see a Judgment of Hell's trigger, which forces my opponent to put one Don back. And due to this fact, my opponent can't use his leader ability next turn, which is crucial. So this trigger was crazy. Still, he has an 8-cost Luffy on his board, which applies a bit of pressure here. I still do not have any event to trash away to draw 2 extra cards with Rosie, but I see a Sugar here. I could consider to play Sugar and then do the Dofi Rosie combo. Let's see what I'm doing here. Yeah, it seems like choosing here to do this combo, but bottom decking again some good events, and my only choice here is Senior Pink. Senior Pink as well, a very strong card. If you guys don't know what he does, on play -1 Dom, I can take a purple event, I think with 5 costs or less, back to my hand and then restand 1 Don. So, and I can also cheat him out with Dofi, which means doing here -1 Don with Dofi, then -1 Don with Rosie, restand 1 Don, and then probably pass the turn. I have 1 Don open. I'm not sure. I could swing here 6. Yeah, I can swing here 6 because anyway I don't have an event in my hand which could profit from it. So swing 6, and at the end of the turn I ramp again a Don. I mean, it's not really necessary now because I'm anyway on 10 Dons next turn again. But next turn probably I could play Rosie. I could play another 8-cost kit. And I have Judgment of Hells in my hand, which is a strong card to defend myself. My opponent here, as mentioned, due to my Judgment of Hells trigger, he was not able to use his leader ability. I remember in this situation, my opponent said this was crazy. It was lucky, to be honest. Sometimes it happens. It could be also opposite when I swing into him and he triggers Thunder Magua trigger to ramp another. So this is One Piece TCG. My board does not look so bad. Here, I'm not sure. He swings 6 into Sugar. I could also consider to free block, to be honest. So force him to swing with his Luffy again into Sugar, if he wants. If not, I could block and then give him a 1k or a 2k. I only have some 2ks available here. I don't think I should trash the Rosie away. Exactly. Give him here a 2k. And he plays Mihawk and bottom decks my Senior Pink just to get rid of pressure. He's tapped out, so it means there is no event possible for him to play. Lucky enough, I'm drawing into a second Rosie. I have 2 big bodies here, but I still have to take care. I only have 1 defensive event available, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to trash this away just to draw 2 cards. I'm also not sure if I'm aware of that my opponent could always play Pudding, which would hurt me a lot because usually my strategy is to build up board and to defend myself with a lot of cards in my hand plus events which are annoying and helping me then to grind out the game and win. So here, first thing first, I swing with 8. I think those were 2Ks if I'm not wrong. So I decided here to go into face. Probably trying here to bring him to 0 life, just to make sure that if he wants to protect himself next turn, he probably has to play a blocker. And the only options available is Nami. Some of the UP lists also run the 3-cost Dofi, but rarely, so you have always to consider about the 5-cost Nami blocker. So swinging here 8 into lead connects. Does that mean he does not have any counters anymore? Going here 10 into lead connects again. So he's on 0 life. Here, yeah, I am allowed to play Rosie, probably without effect. And then end of turn, I can restand 2 don'ts and my blocker Katakuri. Opponent is using his leader ability, finds a Gum Gum Giant, which is quite annoying. Let's see if he will put the rest on top of his deck or bottom of his deck. If you play against UP Luffy, you always have to check if he puts on top or bottom. If it's on top, so that means he knows what he is going to draw. Especially if he has a Gum Gum Giant, he knows what probably he will pitch away, and then he draws into some counters. So like this, you can always assume that if he puts on top on his deck, especially in such a situation like now, there are some counter cards in form of just standard counters or events. So let's see. My opponent, 10 dons, 3 swings. I mean, he could actually also try to apply pressure on myself and to swing big into my life. As mentioned, he probably needs to play a blocker here. I mean, or he has enough counter power to survive at least 19k plus 1 6k and 1 8k swing, which probably is not possible. So first thing first, he swings here with 8. I have many options open. I could block and use Judgment of Hell. I could only use Judgment of Hell and counter out, because Judgment of Hell gives minus 3000, which I'm probably doing here. Here we go. Judgment of Hell minus 1. Minus 3 to both of his characters. It means his Luffy is now a 5k swing, which is an easy 1k counter. And I'm using here Rosie. I think 1 is more than enough. I mean, it's also a little bit risky, because he could bottom deck or KO whatever my Rosie, and then I have not the ability to restand 2 don'ts at the end of every turn. He swings here with 6 Mihawk. I think this is a free block, to be honest. Yeah, and then he has his leader ability. I can use a 2k here, and he will probably play another big body, maybe another Mihawk. No, it should be probably an army. He can't play here big body, because this would be a huge swing. He plays here Sanji. I almost forgot about this card. Sometimes you run him as a 2k counter in the UP Luffy deck. But also here you see not such an often situation as from the perspective of UP Luffy, but a good example that you can use the 2k Sanji in a different way as well, especially hard cast him as a blocker. So this is what I mentioned. Probably my opponent has to play a blocker, which he did. So he has 4 dons open, which is super annoying. I draw into Senior Pink, which is super strong, because I am able to get back my Judgment of Hell again, which will be the 2nd time. This is crazy. Senior Pink, in my opinion, a really underrated card. Of course, you cannot fit him in every purple deck. It has to match the engine, especially the Donk engine. But in my opinion, the ability is really strong. Really, really strong. You are able to get back basically your events you used to play. So for example, if you see only 1 Gum Gum Giant, but you saw 2 Senior Pinks, it feels like you saw 3 Gum Gum Giant. Plus, you still have another 3 Gum Gum Giant in your deck. So that's actually crazy. I swung first with 8. My opponent used here Gum Gum Giant. So swinging here probably with another 8. My opponent... Ah, no. He used first the Gear 2 and now he's using the Gum Gum Giant. Yeah. Maybe I could also have swung 9 first to force him to use the Gum Gum Giant. It wouldn't matter actually. The thing here is I am able to use all dons because I just have to leave 5 open for the Senior Pink play, but besides that, the other 5s I can use because Senior Pink will restand 1 and my Rosie will restand 2, so I have 3 dons available for when I pass a turn. So here, yeah, maybe swinging 3 times 8 plus a 9k swing. I think it's a good choice here, forcing my opponent to defend himself. Interesting. Playing Senior Pink first. I think I should have swung here first before I did that play, just to give my opponent less information. But okay, why not? So here, I swung 10 to my opponent. With the Senior Pink Don, I had 1 Don more available. I swung 10, forced him to use his blocker. So pass the turn with 2 Dons open. He sees the Rush Luffy, but bottom decks everything else. So it means that everything on the top of his deck is random. He does not know. He has no knowledge about it. So let's see what my opponent does in this turn. I think to establish another blocker could be an option, to be honest. Could be a very good option, actually. He swings 8 again. It's Judgment of Hell, in my opinion, plus a 1k. I decide to take this life. Quite interesting. What I'm scared of. Because I know he has his Rush Luffy available. Probably I was scared of, but I'm not sure if this was the right call to take here. I could just use Judgment of Hell, minus 3000 on Luffy and Mihawk. Yeah. Probably I should have done it because he will anyway not win with the Rush Luffy option. So I have to predict here he's going to play a blocker and then pass the turn again with a lot of open dons. Using here Judgment of Hell plus a 2k, so he can't swing with his leader. I mean, he can, but he has to commit too much dons for it. Playing here, Nami has predicted drawing 3, bottom decking probably 2. And then he has some dons open. As you see, I have this game under control. To be fair, it was really lucky that I had, in this perfect situation, the Judgment of Hell trigger, which put my opponent in a very awkward situation. Definitely MVP of the game, Judgment of Hell. In general, also a very strong event card. I love this card. Going here into my turn, here we go. And this, after the game, we were discussing about if this was a good turn to try to go for game. Because what I could done is as well get rid of his board or just swing normal and pass the turn with some dons open. Because here, if I'm not wrong, I will try to go for game. And I mean, he had 4 dons open. He used here the blue event, I just forgot the name, for 2 cost, which I think draws 1 and gives your leader plus 1000 until the end of the turn. So his leader is basically now a 7k. Swinging here 7, he uses his Gum Gum Giant. I mean, he has no blocker here. 7 again. 2k. Swinging 8. Gear 2, and now I commit everything and I will swing. And I mistakenly here wanted to take use my leader ability, but those are rested dons, not dons in my pile. So here I go for game, and he tries to find the counters. He almost found it. The last card was not enough, and because of this, it's GG. Very close. See you in the next one. Bye.